Hey players, we're going to dive into this Trae Young film study. Most of these clips are going to be on high and middle ball screens, and like all my videos, I'm going to give you certain teaching points that hopefully you can take into your game. Sorry for the microphone, my other mic broke. Hopefully I'll get a new one soon. But anyway, most of these clips are going to be on high or middle ball screens. These are ball screens that are set usually in the middle of the floor above the three-point line, or they could be in the slots, which is just lane line extended outside the three-point line. A couple of points here that Trae Young does really well that you can implement into your game is getting to the middle of the floor, and I'll break that down some more. Number two is having teammates spaced out on the perimeter to make defenders make decisions. We'll talk about those as well. And then the three reads, a lob, a floater, or a kick out for a three. And I've got clips on all of these. These are all reads and skills to have. We're actually going to start with floaters, even though that's number two. So the first clip, I've got a couple of points for you. We'll watch it through all the way. So it's a high pick and roll from the playoff series versus the Sixers. So the first thing I want you to see, and each of these are going to be floaters, these first few clips. After each of these screens, Trae Young's eyes are up after the screen. So you can see, even though John Collins doesn't make contact, there's still an advantage created. But right here, Trae Young, his eyes are up and he's reading the defense and waiting for the defense to make a decision. As soon as Collins' defender, right here, Korkmaz, watch, as soon as he hedges, so he's going to hedge and then recover back to his man. Look at this. As soon as Korkmaz starts to recover and leaves Trae Young, that's when Trae Young attacks. Because right here, Korkmaz has stopped the ball. Now he turns his back. That leaves a driving lane open for Trae Young, and then he goes into a 2-foot floater. Another thing is that, and we'll see these in all these clips, Embiid is the rim protector right here. He does not step up and commit to the ball. So because he does not step up and commit to the ball, had he taken one more step up the lane, the lob would have been there. And the lob may still be here, but the rim protector did not commit. So if the rim protector does not commit to you, you can pull up for a jump shot first before you go for a floater. Floaters are tougher shots, but just wait for the defense to make a decision. Another thing too is look at the spacing in the shooters that are on the floor. Kevin Huerter and Bogdan Bogdanovic here in the corner. Hopefully I said his name right. Two great shooters where if either one of the defenders, Curry or Tobias Harris, step off of either one of these shooters, then Trae Young is going to have a drive and kick. So when I have my team focused thing that I put on my videos, team focused, winning basketball, this is what I'm talking about. If either of those defenders slide in, you just kick out for a three. Neither of them did. All right, pausing this film study real quick to tell you guys about something I've put together based off the idea that to get better as a player, you must study film. I've got over 1,000 plus NBA clips across 15 basketball skill categories. You can find the link in my bio, but I've got ball screen, ball handler clips, mid-range scoring clips, shooting, passing, ball screen, screener, offensive sets, post play, you name it. And I put this skill video library together so that players could go in and look at different categories, look at different skills of NBA players, and hopefully understand why those moves and skills are used, learn when to use those skills and moves, and to just basically be able to watch these pieces of film and learn how to become a better player. So if you are interested in investing in this, just click the link in my bio below. And then the last thing, the pointer on the floater, is you've got to decelerate and get on balance. So I don't know exactly if it's half speed or three-quarter speed, but right here, Trae Young is definitely not going full speed into this floater. He's going about half speed and just being patient with the defense. Let's move on to the next clip. This is a side screen and roll into a 1-foot floater. I'll play it through one more time. The first thing I want you to notice, and this is how ball handlers have to attack off screens, at least most screens, is look at his body position right here. His shoulder is into the hip of the screener, which causes Ben Simmons to have to make contact with the screener, and that causes the advantage. So when you're attacking off screens, shoulder should try to get to the screener's hip, especially if they're, like Trae Young is probably 6'1" and Collins is 6'9" or 6'10", so that makes it a little easier when he's that much taller. The second thing, and this is the point here, number one, you want to get to the middle of the floor. So watch the driving line of Trae Young. After this dribble right here, he does not drive straight towards Tobias Harris and take a big, what I call a big banana cut, and what other coaches call a banana cut. At this point, he is now trying to get in a straight line drive to the rim, straight of a line as possible. And then that goes back to this. If now Tobias Harris has to cover more ground. If Tobias Harris slides in, it's a kick out for a three. Because Trae Young gets straight downhill, Tobias Harris doesn't have as much room to slide in, which then leaves the floater open. This is a 1 foot floater as opposed to a 2 foot floater. So here's an and one he gets. I'll run it through again. Obviously against the Knicks here. Game 1 where he hit the buzzer beater. So this is one of the main points I want to make of this video, is that floaters are effective for smaller guards because the deeper into the paint a small guard gets, the more likely their shot is to be contested or blocked. So here's what I mean. Notice where Trae Young gets the shot off. It's maybe on the second, maybe around the second hash up the lane line, something like that. Let's say halfway or more up the lane line. If he releases that shot from underneath the block, then he is amongst the trees, as people say. Then the rim protectors are able to go body to body with Trae Young, and they're much bigger and much stronger than him, so that is not going to be his advantage. But this floater allows him to get the shot off before contact, before they ruin his momentum, and it allows just for having space from the rim to get the shot over. So that's one of the main points. This one here is a 1 foot floater, so it is a right foot. He's going to jump off his right hand and shoot the ball. Sorry, he's not going to jump off his right hand. That would be impressive if he did, but he's not doing that here. He's going to jump off his right foot and shoot it with his right hand. So you got to be able to do the combination of both. All right, next clip here. This is a point I've said before. Watch Embiid, who is the screener's defender / rim protector. Embiid is just retreating the whole time. And it's hard because he's guarding Trae Young and he's got to protect the lob as well. If he steps up to guard Trae, the lob's there. If he doesn't, the floater is there. Honestly, from a defensive perspective, you probably want the floater over the lob because the lob is a much higher percentage shot, I think. I think it's much higher. Maybe it's just a little higher, I don't know. But Embiid does not commit to the ball, so players, when you are coming off of the pick and roll, you want to put defenders in situations like this and make it easy for your game. Good screen. Now it's basically, you can kind of break it down into a 2-on-1, Trae Young, Capella versus Embiid. Now the read is this. If he steps up, it's a lob. If he keeps retreating, it's a floater. Make the defense make decisions. One very simple point I wanted to put right here, well, two of them really, is how quickly he gets around the defender and then gets into a straight line drive. A lot of players, what you do is once you get by your defender, so once he gets by Curry right here, what a lot of younger players do, even high school, is they don't get into that straight line to the rim. They keep driving like a curve or a banana and they dribble straight into this defender. But by getting into that straight line drive to the rim, now Tybal, he doesn't slide in all the way, but now you're making this second defender make a decision. If he were to slide in all the way and completely cut off Trae Young, it'd be a kick out for a three. He doesn't, so that leaves the drive open. Then another thing, people do not realize how difficult this shot is. This is a floater almost from the foul line. Players, if you go into the gym and you practice this shot with your right hand and your left, you're going to see how difficult of a shot this is. And then also, watch Capella right here. This is a point for bigs. If you're watching this, or guards, you can tell your teammate this. And most of you will not be, if not all of you, you're not going to be throwing lobs to somebody like Clint Capella. Instead, it could be a drop-off pass or a short lob like that doesn't result in a dunk but almost a tip-in. But look, he does not go for the lob, so he creates inside rebounding position in the paint, even though Trae Young still makes the shot. All right, so here's another one against the Knicks. This point is just about vision and awareness. After he comes off this screen here, he kind of takes that stutter step or slows down on this step right here. And while he's doing that, look, his eyes are looking back. So he's looking at Collins, he's looking at the defense, but he also sees nobody has stepped up to stop him between the rim, and that's what gives him the floater right there. I think this is the last floater. Okay, we got two more. This one right here, notice the footwork. It is a right foot, left foot floater. So again, you've got to be able to go off your left foot, right foot. You got to be able to go left, right. You got to be able to go right, left. And then that one was a right, left right there. All right, so now we're going to look at lobs. This one to Collins. And again, I know most of y'all are not playing with people who can go up and get it like this. But you can still understand how to make these sort of reads. So good screen right here. And what is so tricky about Trae Young and the Hawks is that Trae Young's floater and lobs look exactly the same. That's why it's so hard to stop, because as Portis is backpedaling right here, he's in such a tough position and he doesn't know if that was a floater or a lob. There's another one right there. So this is very simple. Rim protector slides over and commits to the ball, so that means the kick out is open. Most of you watching this film, though, basically 5 defenders. Yeah, so Simmons' foot is in there. I think Curry's foot is in there. You've got 5 defenders in the paint. Most of you watching this will not be making a lob like this, but instead you'd need to make a kick out pass like that if you can get 5 defenders in the paint. There's another one. So right here, if this is your type of situation, yours might be not necessarily the lob, but it could be a short lob there. You throw it under the rim and they catch it under the rim in for a tip in. Or it could be you get in here, go on 2 feet, make a shot fake. Rim protector would then jump, and then you can make the bounce pass down. If the next rotating defender collapses down, then it would be a kick out. So most of you watching this needs to be when you pass it. If it's not a shot, it needs to be get on 2 feet, shot fake, and then make a pass. Here's Patience right here. So he's coming off the screen. His eyes are up. Randall and Rose both basically are covering him right here, basically doubling the ball, which whenever you're doubled, you always got to think somebody else is open. And that's the read he makes right there. Here's just one in transition. That wasn't really pick and roll. All right, so here's kick out for a 3, and this is something I've been talking about. Now we get to see it on film. I think I've only got 2 clips for this one. But if you are playing with good shooters, you have got to be able to make these passes where if their defender slides in and helps off the screen to kick it out for a 3. So I'll break them down real quick right here. So it looks like it was going to be a double ball screen right here. Trae Young then rejects the ball screen. And now, again, we talk about putting defenders in situations. After this, after he rejects the screen, now it's very simple. If Simmons slides in and cuts him off, it's a pass out. If he doesn't, then it could be a floater or a lob to Collins on the weak side. But Simmons slides in and commits. He's got 1 foot in the paint, which if the defender has 1 foot in the paint, I would say kick it out almost every time. And of course, Kevin Huerter, he's a good shooter. If you're surrounded with good shooters, then they're going to make defenders make those tough decisions. Same thing right here. Rejects the ball screen. Defender slides in. Good shooter on the perimeter. And they make it. Now this one is a weak side skip. One-handed pass right on the money. You do not realize how difficult this pass is. But it's on the weak side. RJ Barrett slides in to tag the roller. Wide open in the corner. Very, very advanced pass that looks easy, but is actually very difficult. Now we're going to look at pace and decisions. The best players are never in a hurry, and the game moves slow in their head. To be honest with you, a lot of that is just a gift. Like, some people are naturally athletic and gifted, and the game just moves slow, and that's why they're good. But you can still work on the game, work on studying film, and that'll help you. But just watch on this clip right here how composed and patient Trae Young is. So he's getting a side ball screen, and a side ball screen is a screen that's set on the wing. We looked earlier at high or middle ball screens, which are set more in this area. This is a side ball screen. He actually has a good setup right here. He goes between the legs to an inside-out dribble, and that causes the defense to hesitate. Now as he's attacking off the screen, he's reading the defense and being very patient. You can see he looks right here off his right shoulder to see what's there. but he's just very patient. He dribbles in about half speed, and because that was such a good setup for the screen, really the setup for the screen is what is allowing him to be so patient in these situations. But he's basically dribbling through and waiting for the defense to commit, and in each of these situations, the defense doesn't commit, and that's why he's having these jumpers. Now, last clip right here, it is still talking about pace and decisions. So it's a high ball screen, and this is how you do not want to defend great shooters. The on-ball defender, Simmons, goes under the screen, and look how Capella kind of spins. He kind of spins and just stays there to make it harder for Simmons to close out. Embiid, the screener, retreats, plays soft coverage or drop coverage, and that is more than enough space for a shooter like Trae Young to get the shot off. So in this situation, good pace, quick decisions, but he notices both defenders are back and goes into a shot. Now for this specific move, you want to be able to do this. Look at his hop step. So a hop step is when you land on both feet at the same time going into the shot. Hop step, but also something players you can do when you're working on your shot, especially threes like this. First of all, make sure you're practicing in your range. If you're missing most of your shots, you're out of your range and you need to work on your form first. But look at the angle of his body. He's almost in a full 90-degree squatting position, which is how he's able to get power from his legs. And the upper half of his shot, his arms and his upper body is so smooth because he's able to get low and balanced and powerful going into the shot. All right, y'all, thanks for watching that. You can screenshot a subscription and DM me on Instagram for free workouts, and I will be sharing more film studies soon. Thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful.